Well, good afternoon, everyone. Clive Jeffrey here from clivejeffrey.com, and I'm just putting this little video together for you today about starting and running your first webinar, hence the name Webinars for Dummies. And to do this, I'm actually trialing some new software which I believe is going to be very useful to us all. It's nice and simple to use from what I can tell, and that's Webinars on Air. So let's see how it goes. So first of all, I'd just like to thank you all for coming. As I say, my name's Clive Jeffrey, and I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a background on myself for those of you who don't know me. I am now residing in St. Augustine, Florida. I just moved here from New Zealand in November last year with my family. And the reason we did this is that my wife I met in Maryland back in the early 80s when I was backpacking around the world, and I took her home with me to New Zealand as a souvenir. And since then we've actually been coming back to the States regularly, basically yearly, for visits to family and whatnot. And on our last trip in 2012, our children decided that they really wanted to go to school in America from what they'd seen on TV. And well, we decided, what the hell, you only live once, so we sold up everything there and arrived in Florida. And over in New Zealand, I'd been running a printing and graphic design business, which I started back in 1990, so for a good 23 odd years. And I was looking for a change of career, and that's what got me into MLM and internet marketing. So I've now been a successful business owner for many years and built a good brick and mortar type company, and are now in the process of establishing myself online. And hence all the training that I'm doing personally. I'm then passing that on to all my followers and my team so that they can help grow their online business. So that's a little bit of my background. So without further ado, let's get into today's presentation, which is basically, as I mentioned, Webinars for Dummies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, so if you just bear with me while I do that. So hopefully now you can all see my screen, and with that we'll get going with the webinar. So, as the title suggests, Webinars for Dummies, things to consider and prepare when you're looking at producing your first webinar. The big thing to do is take into consideration the choice of your topic. This is going to essentially determine the purpose of your webinar, and that's a very critical point. You want to have an agenda in mind so that you can stick to it and get your message across clearly. So if you have it clearly set in your mind what you want to talk about and what you want to achieve, it'll be a better experience for both you and your audience. So the purpose, as I mentioned, is really to inform or answer a question or provide a solution. And what we're looking to do today is provide a solution or answer some questions for those who are looking to set up their first webinar. So essentially 10 tips for running your first webinar, and the first one being is start on time. And to do this, there's a bit of preparation in the back office, so make sure that you're there and getting ready at least 15 minutes beforehand, before the scheduled start time, because there's nothing worse than both a meeting online or offline if you if the host of the meeting is late. It's just disrespectful to your audience, and it's people's time is valuable, so you really want to make sure that you are ready and prepared to start on time. Another tip is to keep all your desktops tabs closed. Especially if you're sharing your screen, you don't want to have a messy looking screen behind. Not only that, it's distracting, but you also might be sharing information that you don't intentionally want to do. And the other idea is use the use of slides. There can be simple slides just like this one I'm showing now, just to keep yourself on track, and it also gives your audience something to follow along with as well. So just, it's just a good way of keeping on task. Thing that this point here, pacing yourself while speaking, it's something that I have to remind myself of consciously. I seem to get overexcited and get carried away, and my pace picks up, and especially with my accent, I've been told that I can be quite hard to understand. So definitely slow yourself down, speak clearly, and allow your audience to grasp what you're saying before you move on to your next point. I mean, practice beforehand, that's common sense really. It's like, regardless if you're doing a meeting in person, while one-on-one, or presenting to a group, or obviously as in a webinar, you've got to be prepared. The more you're prepared, the better your presentation is going to come across, and the better results you're going to get with getting your message across there. And of course, show enthusiasm. There's nothing worse. We've all had teachers in the past, I'm sure, where the teacher just drones on and on in a monotone voice. There's just nothing worse, and you're going to find your audience dropping off rapidly if you don't show enthusiasm. So change your pitch up and down, and just speak normally, as if you would sitting around a group of friends. That's what you really want to concentrate on. You want to make it conversational. Really, make it an enjoyable experience for your participants. They want to feel like they're in a nice, relaxed atmosphere. So really work on that. And another tip is be flexible. Be prepared to jump from your script. Certain things might happen. You might get a question come up in your your chat box that is going to take a bit of time to cover. So really be flexible with your script, and allow yourself to move around. And with your slides, you're going to be able to get back on task. So but be prepared for those little things to get in the way, and don't let them floor you. And another good point is to really excuse me, leave time at the end for a Q&A, because at the end of the day, just like any meeting, you want to involve your audience. So allow for question time and plenty of time to answer them. And another quick little tip is just to, at the end of your presentation, you want to allow time, or you allow people to see how they can get in touch with you. And that is a good idea, to present them with all your social media handles, so that it's easy for them to connect, and so you can then share more information with them as time goes on. And then the last thing would be to end your webinar with a call to action. You want to have something that you can get the audience to participate in, either to visit your web page, connect with you on Facebook, for example, or if you're producing a sales video, that's where you would, at the end, ask people to take action and click the link and buy now type thing. So really be conscious of having your call to action. And it may be as simple as sending them to your web page for getting more information. The last thing I wanted to cover is the choice of media to actually set your webinars up on. And there's plenty to choose from, and like I did, I suggest you go through and check them all out. There's all kinds of information online about them, and as mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, I chose Webinars on Air. To me, it was the most flexible, working in with Google Hangouts. It's nice and simple to use. It records itself automatically and is posted on your YouTube channel afterwards, and nice and simple and easy to use, as mentioned. So that's basically all I have for you today. It's a nice, quick, simple introduction, and following my own advice, there's ways to get in touch with me. Basically, if you look for Clive Jeffrey on any of the platforms, you're going to find me. So clivejeffrey.com is my blog page. Facebook.com/clive.jeffrey is my page. Twitter handle is @CliveJeffrey, and Google Plus is CliveJeffrey1. So yeah, I'd love for you all to connect with me. I share information daily on my blog, so come along and visit me there. And if anyone is interested in starting their own webinars and wanting to get webinars air going, there's a link that you can go to. It's homebusinessleadsforbeginners.com. Go to /webinars on air. So I'll actually just post that in the chat box now. And if anyone would like to check out that software and give it a free trial, by all means head over there. So I'll pop that in the chat box now. Just 1 second. So there's the link being posted there now. So by all means go along and check it out. And as mentioned, please come and catch up with me on my blog, clivejeffrey.com, and I'd like to see you on Facebook as well. So thank you again for your attendance today. I don't see any questions at all in the chat, so with that I'm going to be signing off, and hopefully you guys have got some value from this, and if so, please look out for future webinars, and I look forward to connecting with you guys. So thanks very much.